There's a feature out there called Content Aware Scale. And it's been around in Photoshop for quite a while now, actually. It gets overlooked a lot, but it's got, I think mainly because sometimes when you first use it, it doesn't really seem to work the way that you think it should. And there's one key little feature inside of it that makes it work a whole lot better. So let's take a look here. What I want to do is, let's say I wanted to print this. I wanted to print it to an 8x10. All right. If I go to image size here, you're going to see if I try to resize it to 10x8, you see if I constrain the proportions, it goes to 10x6, okay, 10x6.5, give or take. So that's not going to be an 8x10. So what I've done here is I've actually created an 8x10 document. So let's go ahead and let's place this. I'm just going to select all, I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to go over to the image I created. I'm going to paste it in. Okay, and then I'm just going to take it, I'm going to move it so that the right edge of the image actually appears on the right side of the photo, and you're going to see what starts to happen here. See how we start to lose, the snowboarder's right up against the left side of the image, which doesn't really look so good. Okay, I want to bring some more area inside of here. So what we can do is use Content Aware Fill for this. We can resize the image in a very smart way. Now, here's the problem with this. If I just go to Edit, and I go down here to Content Aware Scale, and I start to bring this in, it's going to distort. If you look at the clouds start to get distorted. See how they start to curve upward a little bit? It's actually doing a very, very good job to keep the snowboarder intact here. So that's kind of a testament to just how good this functionality is, but it still is. You'll see that it will distort clouds. It'll distort anything that's in the sky, anything on the ground. It's going to start to curve that a little bit. So I'm going to hit escape here. What we can do is take the lasso tool, and we can tell Photoshop what we want to protect. I want to protect just about everything but the rock and the snow over here, because I think this is where I can afford to do some stretching and contorting a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a lasso selection of everything except the areas that I really don't care about. All right, then we go over to our channels palette, we create a new channel, and then just go to Edit Fill and fill that selection with white. Click OK. So now what we've done is we've created an area of protection, if you will. And then we'll come back over here to RGB. Now, what we can do is let's go back into Edit. We'll go down to Content Aware Scale. And this time under Protect, I'm going to tell it I want to protect Alpha 1. Alpha 1 is actually the name of that channel that we created inside of the channels palette. So now it's protecting that area. So when I start to move this, watch what happens. Look at and pay specific attention to the sky. See how the sky stays, it's basically intact. It's not curving it. Okay. Now take a look at the rock. If you look right along this little area here, you'll see it starts to kind of squish that in a little bit. So that's where it's choosing to do its content aware scaling on this image, okay? Because it knows I want to protect this area up here at all costs. So now it's going to the areas where I said I don't want to protect, which if you look at this little alpha channel down here, it's all the areas that were in black. Anything that was in white, it's saying, please don't touch it. Try to. It's going to eventually touch it. If I keep moving, it's not going to stay away from it forever. But for the most part, it'll really hold those areas off, and it's going to work mainly on the parts of the photo that you tell it to. Okay, so the key trick here, when you're done, just hit enter or return. But the key trick here is that before you go into Content Aware Scale, okay, just take any one of your selection tools. Any selection tool is going to work just fine. Take any one of your selection tools, and it doesn't have to be this perfect selection. Okay, I'm going to cancel out of this. It seems to be not happy with me today, but you get the idea. Any one of your selection tools, and just do a very, very quick, rough outline of whatever it is that you want to protect. Come over here to that channels palette, create a channel, fill it with white. Content Aware Scale will hold off from modifying that area, and it's going to do a whole lot better of a job.